but you've got some Canuck information regarding dinners.
Yeah, well, dinners, yeah.
Was clam chowder served at any of the dinners?
That's an inside joke, clam chowder. Okay, listen, the NHL Combine last week in Buffalo. And we always try to find out who the Canucks had.
Fight through it, Rick.
No, I'm fighting through it. I'm slugging. We always try to find out who the Canucks had dinner with because
we are.
Yeah, we are. I always do that every year at the Combine. That's my job, to try and find out who they had dinner with, because it tells you, Donnie, that they're paying special attention to this player. I told you yesterday they had dinner with what's his name?
Tom Wielander.
Well, Wielander, yeah. But I found out this morning, his agent, Ross Gurney, a good friend of ours, won't confirm it, but I do have it confirmed from another source. The Canucks had dinner with Chilliwack native Zach Benson last week at the Combine. Zach Benson, Winnipeg Ice. This guy's good, Donnie. He's good. He's a winger.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest guy in the world, but there is a ton of skill there. He put up really good numbers as a 15-year-old in Winnipeg as well. He's down the highway in Chilliwack.
That's where he grew up.
That's where he grew up. Chilliwack Minor Hockey. A plug for Chilliwack Minor Hockey. But you know what, Donnie? I don't know if he's there at 11. And the other question I have for the Vancouver Canucks is, in the last 4 years, the Canucks have, let's put it this way, they have not taken a defenseman in the first 2 rounds. In 2019, they never took a defenseman in the entire draft. Last 3 years, the first pick for defenseman has been in the 3rd round and then the 5th round. You guys in the last 4 years have not taken it. The last impactful defenseman you have taken.
Here you are ripping Aquilini again.
Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes was the last impactful defenseman they took. Donnie, you can't go 5 years, you can't go 4 years without taking a defenseman in round 1. They continue to not. Last year, Lekaramaki, they could have taken one. They didn't do it. So if this year they don't take a defenseman, I'll be shocked. But they're interviewing forwards too. They went out to dinner with Zach Benson, who's a forward. He's a winger.
And also dining with the Canucks, Patrick Alvin, Rutherford, etc. Who would be at the dinner? Maybe Francesco?
Francesco doesn't. He only attends the dinners at the blue Cafe. Blue Cafe, whatever it's called.
White and Blue Cafe.
He only does those. This is Alvin and his scouting staff, Donnie. They take. I've talked to the kids, the agents who have these dinners. They're just the scouts and Alvin, and they let them know, and they talk to these kids, and it's a good sign when you get a dinner.
Yeah.
Outside the hotel room.
Colby Barlow, apparently they also had dinner with from Owen Sound, another winger, and Nate Danielson, right?
Yes, he's a center out of Brandon. But, okay, so do you take best player available, or do you draft for position, draft for need? The Vancouver Canucks the last 4 years have not taken a defenseman in round 1 or 2, Donnie. Yeah. That catches up to you, and it hurts you. It hurts you in the farm. It hurts you, and I don't know. If they go winger, center, I'll be shocked.
Okay,
I'll be shocked.
So let's focus on what they have taken, and 5 of their last 8 first-rounders, and this obviously, we're talking most of these players before.
Back to Gillis.
With Benning anyway. Not quite back to Gillis. 5 of their last 8 first-rounders have been wingers. And, look, it's well documented. They want to reduce cap, and part of that is getting rid. They got a surplus of wingers right now. Trying to unload Garland, maybe Besser, right? So I would think it would be surprising for a lot of people if they took a winger. But then again, I'm more from the school you take the best player available, because if you take the best player available and you've got a surplus somewhere, you can always trade him. You can or not necessarily trade him, but somebody else. It would fall into the category of a pleasant problem. Yeah, I'm okay with that. They do need defensemen, but look, Rick, they needed a defenseman in 2016 because they hadn't drafted one for a while. I stand to be corrected there, and they took Ole Juolevi. With Tkachuk staring them in the face.
Right there in the face.
And it's like they wanted a defenseman badly. They decided to take Juolevi, and I mean his teammate from the London Knights, Matthew Tkachuk, and the rest is history. So I think if you followed the Canucks for any length of time, that one moment, you don't go for positional need. You take the best player available.
Donnie, you also always need a young defenseman on the farm that's ready to jump up, and they don't have that right now. They don't have it. I'm sorry. They don't have it.
I know they haven't won a Stanley Cup, and their recent success, there isn't a whole lot there. But remember the Nashville Predators year after year.
David Poile.
Well, drafting defenseman.
He said you can never draft enough D.
Yeah,
never draft enough
my
D.
point is they did, even though it wasn't a positional need, they kept drafting defensemen, and then off, like Seth Jones for Ryan Johansson, for instance. Off goes Jones to Columbus, and they get somebody else. So I'm more a fan of taking the best player available. Have confidence in yourself down the line.
But you can't go 5, 6, 7, 8 years without drafting a defenseman in the top 2 rounds, Don.
Yeah, but what if
it catches up to you?
But what if you've got a great the player that you have ranked the highest available to you at that point? I think you go for the best player available. We'll agree to disagree on that.